Just so you know, we're gonna go live a few minutes early so we can test it out.
So we're gonna.
Oh, that's because it's pulling up it.
They have some technical difficulties. Won't be surprised if this one goes black, brain goes black, or maybe go. I think it's finally getting to go. It works for so long.
The first time, me too. Mhm.
Was.
It says it's connected. Yeah, that's on it. Is that? Well, somebody talking to the microphone. It says it's connected. Do you know what you changed? Did you change something over here? Because I don't know. Because none of the options that were used to be on this are on there anymore.
Oh, really? That's that new they come Zoom, I think, because I've had issues with it myself. I know, when they do these updates and stuff like that. Of course, that may be something with the Willies, I don't know. That should be right. It's just the same system. Where's mine?
Do his place or?
Well, yeah, yeah. Fortunately, because it was still in there.
But those times.
Benny just said they need to be changed. He said, you need new tires. Okay.
Got all he could out of it.
got all I could out of it. Okay. So we're still having some technical difficulties.
While we're waiting, does anyone want to go to KLC?
Are we live? Can you hear anything?
September 22nd to the 25th, and it's in Calvert.
Hello.
Mike and I are going.
I can hear myself talking, but.
Oh, it's going through them. If you can hear it on there, it's going through.
Scott said he could hear it, and it sounds fine.
Okay.
I can't get it. Perfect.
So ready to go? Glenn, you ready?
Yeah.
Live. Can you hear anything?
I heard all that.
Man,
His face snitched.
that's got a pretty significant delay in it.
Yeah, it is.
It's crawling again.
About 20 seconds. Yeah, I think we're good.
We're good to go? Good.
Yes.
No, that's just it.
This goes from them, but I don't know if everybody's on.
Okay, so we got our technical difficulties resolved, I think, and Glenda's going to start off the meeting with leading us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, we've got a pretty full house tonight, and the agenda doesn't accurately reflect everything that's going to happen. We've got some informational things we're going to do pretty early on. But first off, Calvert City showed out for the 4th of July. Once again, thank you, Blair. She hates when she gets bragged on in public, and so we're going to anyway. So a great lineup, and had a little dodgy on the weather, and I think being on the weekend kind of changed the crowd dynamics around, but I think we had a great celebration, and appreciate it all, everybody coming out and all the hard work that was done by the volunteers and the city departments. And I came out on Sunday to help, and I was already too late. They were rounding the corner and clearing out. So there you go. But the city looked good, and appreciate that offer right there. So that's strange, getting a phone call on a Monday night. Okay. All right. So first off, before we go into the approval of minutes, just kind of explain what's going to go on with the agenda. So we've got a public informational thing from Mr. Travis. Keith Travis is here. We've got a couple of new employees, and Calvert City the Calvert City Police Department has got some recognition for some of our first responders. I think it's going to be really proud of that. And then we'll move on with new business and get forward. Okay. With that said, let's go for an approval of the meeting minutes from June 16th, the special call meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review those? Okay.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
So, all right, all in favor? All right, thank you for that. Visitors and petitioners, I think first off, we'll help out here, and I'm contemplating putting Mr. Travis on first, but I think we're going to get rid of some really important business that we do want to recognize. So Keith can bear with us for a little bit. He's used to government functions. So first off, Brad, do you want to introduce a new employee for us? Bonnie, Brad.
This is William Casey. We hired him for the sanitation truck. Doing a great job. Proud of that.
When was your first day, William?
May 26th.
May 26th. Okay. Well, I'm proud for you coming up to meeting everybody. We can put a face with a name.
Yeah.
It really
Yep.
helped me.
Well-
Really helped me. It really helped me. And hey, Will.
Okay, Chief, you want to come up here and introduce a new employee for us?
All right, this is Mr. Timothy Ryan Thacker. He goes by Ryan, his middle name. He is born and raised in Eastern Kentucky and Knott County for the Hollers. And, transitioned over to the western side of the state 2016, 2017, and then got on with the Princeton Police Department, worked there for about 8 years, and we've welcomed him to the police department on June 15th this year.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Meet everybody.
yeah, finally haven't slept.
Well,
Okay.
So if you feel homesick anytime.
Okay.
I don't miss it.
so you do have a 5-minute obligatory speech you got to make.
We'll sit in silence till moment of silence.
Okay. All right. We'll let you off the hook. Let you off the hook. Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief, you got something else you'd like to bring to our attention?
Yes, since the beginning of the year, Calvert City Police Department have responded to numerous calls, but then there's been a couple of calls where I feel a few of our officers have gone above and beyond. And so I'd like to recognize them this evening. And so first up, I'd like to ask Sergeant Suits to come up here and get back up if you would mind to help me. So So on June 13th, at approximately around 2:17, the Calvert City Police Department was requested to assist Marshall County EMS at medical call at the residents inside the city limits. Sergeant William P. Suits responded to the call, and along with first responders and the Calvert City Police Department. Upon his arrival, he acted quickly and was able to assess the situation and began performing life-saving measures to the patient. Sergeant Suits assisted in CPR, administering the automatic defibrillator. or the AED to the patient with successful results. And so Sergeant Suit's actions on that day during this incident illustrates the agency's professionalism and life skills or life-saving skills abilities. The Calvert City Police Department, it's my honor to award Sergeant Suits with the Calvert City Police Department Life-Saving Award. And here's the award right here. That framed up for him. It says Calvert City Police Department Life-Saving Award is hereby presented to Sergeant Police Suits for outstanding professional performance and life-saving actions on June 13th, 2026 in Calvert City, Kentucky. Your actions reflect the highest standard of conduct for law enforcement profession and brings great credit to the Calvert City Police Department. What that Babcock is putting on is it's a board that signals the life saving award that he can wear on life saving.
Right.
Step, we're gonna ask Officer Bobo and Officer White to come up. All right, so on June 13th, on May 10th, 2026, at approximately 1:05 p.m., the Calvert City Police Department was requested to assist Marshall County EMS with a medical call to a residence inside the city limits. Officer Dylan Bobo and Zane White responded to the address along with first responders of the Calvert City Fire Department. Upon arriving on scene, Officer Bobo acted quickly to assess the situation and quickly recognized the patient was overdosing. Officer Bobo began life-saving measures to the patient and advised Officer Zane White of the patient's status. Officer White arrived on scene and administered 2 doses of the naloxone, commonly referred to as Narcan, to the patient. The Narcan quickly started to reverse the effects of the overdose, and the patient began his recovery and survived after further medical treatment. Actions on that day by Officer Bobo and White during this incident illustrate the agency's professionalism, teamwork, and life-saving skills of the Calvert City Police Department. It is my honor to award both Officer Bobo and Officer White with the Calvert City Police Department Life-Saving Awards. So this one right here says Calvert City Police Department Life-Saving Award is hereby presented to Officer Dylan Bobo for outstanding professional performance, life-saving actions on May 10th, 2026 in Calvert City. Your actions reflect the highest standard of conduct for the law enforcement profession and brings great credit to the Calvert City Police Department. And this one right here, Calvert City Police Department Life-Saving Award is hereby presented to Officer Zane White for outstanding professional performance and life-saving actions on May 10th, 2026 in Calvert City, Kentucky. Your actions reflect the highest standard of conduct for the law enforcement profession and brings great credit to the Calvert City Police Department. Thank you, John. Yes, you're
Squeeze it.
I like that.
All right.
Thank you, John. Yes. And so that is going to conclude what I wanted to do with this council meeting. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's been an honor to serve. These guys are always excited to show up to work and do whatever they can to make sure Calvert City is safe and they're able to help out however they can. So with that, thank you.
Thank
All right, thank you.
Thank you all, gentlemen.
You got a good team put together.
Yeah.
All right. So there may be an exodus here, but everybody's welcome to stick around. You know, we got important business to attend to. Oh. No, you can't leave. You certainly will never get out of here if you don't leave.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay.
Why don't we do? Because we're over there, we can't, I can't.
Charlie's about it, right?
Well, I kind of hate letting the crowd get away from Keith's presentation. We had a great crowd. We shouldn't have let them out.
Did that backwards.
There's a lot of people. So,
Police officers here.
yeah. I was too. I thought maybe we had a credible threat. Now we got the door closed. I don't know what's happening here.
Because everybody's out in the hall.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, Keith had contacted me and I'll just turn the table over to him. He's got a program at work in the county that sounds very interesting and very appropriate and just sharing the news with city council at this point, right? Okay.
The opportunity, I'm gonna try to be brief, but there's a lot of things to cover. About a year ago, when I first retired, I said I couldn't, retirement wasn't for me, so I started driving a school bus and I was doing that. About a year ago, I got a call from the mayor's office in Benton, said, would you mind helping drive a month for a company in Benton? We need some transportation for members. I said, sure, I'll do that for a month. And Ralph, I'm still there. And about a month ago, the owner of the company asked me if I would help do some marketing, some outreach to the community, to our service area, if you will. One of the reasons I didn't leave the job is because I was transporting members to a new facility in Benton. The old Bank of Marshall County building has been purchased and renovated. And I would watch these seniors that were sometimes living in isolation by themselves without adequate medical attention, probably an insufficient diet, and they were making progress. This group was not reversing the aging process, but they were having a lot to do with it. You and I live in a nation that's, we spend more per capita than any developed country in the world on healthcare. And yet we are 55th, the last numbers I saw, in life expectancy. And to make that story even more of a bright spot, Kentucky happens to be 45th out of the 50 states. Life expectancy has increased in the past century, but it is also a situation of what is the quality of my life? And so this company is called Life Coordinated. It really goes under the banner of PACE. PACE is an acronym for providing all-inclusive care for elderly. What it means is it started in 1971 in the city of San Francisco in the Asian community. The Asian community believed in taking care of their elderly at home, and they wanted to start a program. So PACE is now in 33 states. The facility in Benton is the first time they've been in Kentucky. As we speak, that same group is opening another one in Winchester and one in Springfield. And this whole organization is about rural health care for the elderly. And I'm going to tell you some factors about it. And then I'm going to try to answer the question of this can't be that good. That's what everyone says. That's the challenge sometimes that people have about it. They think it's too good to be true. It must be a scam. There must be something incorrect that I'm missing about this process. First of all, every brochure that we publish has a little code here on the bottom. That is CMS. We're regulated by CMS. We're audited 4 times a year. by every department, and it is a closely regulated business. We cannot go knock on the door and make a cold call for a senior that might be eligible for our program. Referrals have to come from individuals, maybe from a church, maybe for someone that has some knowledge about the situation, but we're not allowed to advertise. You won't see a $300 meal card or grocery card sent from our organization. We just are not allowed to do that. So what we do, if a person wants to become a member of PACE or Life Coordinated, it's about a 7-step process. We are not the final say. The state is the final say. It's primarily intended for people on Medicaid or Medicaid, Medicare dual. I'm going to try to walk through the process just a little bit and tell you what we do, and then we'll explain why it's that way. So if you become a member of PACE, if you decided today that you wanted to become a member, it's probably going to take you about a week to get all the paperwork filled out, and we help you with that. Take you about a week, and you would become a member on August 1, and you would be part of that group. If on August 20th you decided, gee, this isn't what I really want to do, you can opt out. You'll be out September 1st. So it's a month-by-month contract. You're not signed up for 2 years or 3 years. It's a month-by-month contract. What we will do is we will bring you, you can drive to the center in Denton. You have to come one time a month. Once a month, you have to show up once a month for assessments and evaluations. You can come 4 to 5 days a week. We'll provide you breakfast. We'll provide you lunch. If you can't drive, we'll provide you the transportation. I've been to Calvert City. We are serving members in the city of Calvert City as we speak. We'll provide you breakfast and lunch. We'll provide you with exercise therapy. There's a library. There's an occupational therapist. There's a theater set up for television, bingo. There's even a jukebox in the center that plays. Now, the jukebox did not get there by accident. Everything that they do, every action they take has a purpose. There's a program called Music in Memory. If you've ever been associated with an Alzheimer patient, the last part of the brain to go is the music. Listening to music from their generation helps slow. It won't prevent that disease, but it helps slow that disease. Everything they do has a purpose. The exercises have a purpose. The diet, the foods is prepared are high in protein. They're intended to enhance their living quality. The rest of the facility is kind of interesting. I think Hatler Morgan would probably be surprised to see that there's 5 exam rooms for a physician. There is a pharmacy. There are shower facilities, European shower facilities where the patient can shower by themselves on a stand, sitting in a chair, or the nursing assistant can help them. There's a sauna. We do blood draws. Everything that we provide is paid for. Not only that, they pay no bills. So all the services that we provide are totally covered by the fees that we receive. If that employee, they're doing some things to enhance the program. Later this fall, there will be a medical director on site 5 days a week. The medical director is an MD. And they are working to increase that staffing. So if you wish to see a doctor, today if you get sick, you may need to call your physician, make an appointment, or proceed in that fashion. If you wish to see a doctor, you can see the doctor 5 days a week. If you break your hip and you have to have a therapist, a physical therapist help you, Medicare and Medicaid may say you get 15 visits. With us, you get as many visits as it takes to where you've reached maximum medical investment. The pharmacy, we have a prescriptions mailed to your home, or you can bring your pill caddy in and they're filled. We do a thing called genetic testing. We assess that my metabolism is suitable for the medications I'm being given. It's not uncommon to do that, but it's not an uncommon process, but it's kind of uncommon for somebody to do that. Usually those medications are discarded. So what does all this have to do with what we're talking about tonight, the quality of life? It is a known fact on a scale of 1 to 10, If 10's the best condition you can be in as a senior, if you're in the range of 7 to 10, statistically, PACE can prove that they can lengthen your life expectancy by 5 years. Not only lengthen it, but improve the quality thereof. So many seniors that we encounter are living. If I have a medical problem, I go and the medical problem is attended to, but nobody attended to my diet issues or to other health habits that I have. There's all these other things that compose. Socialization is an integral part of our wellness. We are social beings. If you don't see anyone else during the course of the week, living by yourself, if you're without transportation. I mean, I have to admit, I did not realize that population was as large as it is, how many there are. And there are many Section 8 housing projects around our community, around our area. Our service area is Marshall, McCracken, Callaway, Graves, Hickman, and Fulton counties. And so like all rural health programs, the big issue is transportation. We run 2 vehicles every day transporting patients or transporting members. We call them members. We have 3 buses. Every day bringing people. That is how an overview of a program of trying to develop health improvements for the senior population. Well, now then, how did this idealistic program come to be, and how does it get paid for? Medicare, Medicaid, as an example, let's say they set aside so much money each day or each month for my care. If you enroll with Life Coordinated, those organizations take that money and they reduce it by 15%. And they send that money to Life Coordinated. Now, Life Coordinated, and it goes into a pot. It doesn't go into Keith Travis's account, it goes into a pot. And Life Coordinated goal is to keep you as healthy as you can be, so that you don't have to utilize the most expensive place to get health care in America, it's the emergency room. And the most expensive way to get there is via him. And if you're a senior without family, without somebody to advocate for you, and you go into that environment on a Saturday night, it's a pretty daunting task. If you go to that doctor, and again, this isn't a slam on anybody or any healthcare profession, but they're going to test and they're going to X-ray and they're going to do MRIs, and the cost rises. The last number I said in 2023, the number was $14,000 per person in the United States per year. It's not hard to spend billions of dollars on healthcare, and the results are not the results we want. So Life Coordinated takes that money, and it's their job. And they're going to say, well, we're going to just cut out all the services. And well, if I cut out your services and your health care declines, I'm still paying the bill. Our medical director does not make all the decisions. We have an interdisciplinary team. They call it an IWT. There's 11 people on that team. It includes therapists, nurses, dietitians, doctors, nurse practitioners. Even the transporter, the person driving the patient is on that team, and they review your case and they decide this person's making progress or this issue is not being addressed, or I'm seeing symptoms or signs of not being able to be mobile. All of those things are discussed. And so it's a holistic approach to trying to keep a person well. And I'll give you a handout. There's some
So that IDT reviews it on a periodic basis, or how's
basis.
monthly?
You have every patient.
Okay.
And try to review them. Right now, we have about 40+ members. Plans are to put an elevator outside the building and open up the bottom 8,000 square feet of that building. At full capacity, we could probably serve 500. It's a very unique process because for every 100 members, it takes about 125 employees. So it's a very intensive process, but it's one that we're very passionate about. The people there are passionate about elder care. Our members come in from all walks of life, from different backgrounds. And it's quite an insight to see how they improve and how they can stabilize. And again, I'm not gonna tell you, they stop the aging process. But with proper care, they can do so much. But why would I come and make this presentation tonight? Well, for 2 years, they've been there, and I'm not gonna cast any stones. They've been trying to get set up and started and running. And finally, the lady that owns the company said about a month ago, said, you know everyone, or you owe everyone money, and said, why don't you go on another way, what our program is, because I invited the city, county commissioners in the other day. And you looks and it's just one of those things, you see it on the side of the building and it says life, maybe you don't know what life coordinated is. Somebody said the other day, we're in the life section. It's life coordinated. It's a life celebration center with the funeral home and life associates. It's all about life on that corner. But the description is not that clear. And when you try to tell everyone all of this, it's like the proverbial drinking from the fire hose and it becomes somewhat overwhelming. But it is doable, it is working, it is available. The people that you know, the churches, there's 120 churches in this county. And I dare say there's not a church that doesn't have a one member that the church is trying to care for. But they do wellness checks, but they don't know if their health is, or they're taking their medications, who's everything in managing them. We met last week with a lot of kids for the first time. And they're serving a large number of seniors every day in this county. Some in the center, some in rural transport. And we hope to develop some other partnerships and referrals. We're not going to overwhelm somebody with trying to sell them a product. That's not what it's about. But if you could have the reputation. This Thursday, I don't know him because I have a tour with a group coming through, but they're taking the whole group of both. It might not seem like a lot. 2 months ago, they took them all to Willow Pond for catfish. Last fall, they took them all on a charter, so they'll be able to see the leaves change. That might not seem like a lot, but if you haven't been out of your home in a week or a month, and your home is a smaller confine, it's a big deal. And that socialization skill helps open these people up. And as I drove this individual, I kept driving and picking them up. And I was going to New Concord every day. Hey, we'll pick the gentleman up and then I take him back. That's 150 miles every day just to go get one member. When we started, there was no conversation. There was no, before it's all done, either he had to, I guess with me, he had to. He was engaging. We were talking about your past and where did you come from in the life and what an interesting life this individual had. When I looked at him, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. There was a world of resources from agronomy degree in Texas where he originally been. And I think that what a resource, and sometimes we overlook it and we see a senior that probably is not valued as to what they could be. We can increase their quality of life. We can increase their length of life. It's not to discredit skilled nursing in any of the facilities that we have in this county. But my goal is the same as their goal. I'd like to spend my senior years, and I'm there. I'd like to spend my senior years in my home, in the comfort of my home, and the privacy of my home as much as possible. I give thanks for having a facility like Calvert Nursing Home. Parents were there, my grandparents were there. I never visited my mother one time in 6 years. She didn't ask me to take her home. And that's no discredit to the service. It's just not home. And when you visit them during COVID, it was extremely tough. It was extremely tough. And I look at that and I think that's my life is moving. It's cycles. That's where we're going. So that's what we do. You're more than welcome. I invited Nina and Jeremy to come over as mayoral candidates. I wanted to be sure and let them come and see the center. Each one of you is welcome to come and we'll take you through. It takes about 45 minutes. The presentation is not as good as the vision. The walk through, you get a sense for what it's all about. There's a little tech center where they help them with computers, they help them with their phone. I need that. Well, thank goodness I have grandkids that understand telephones, iPhones, and, but they try to help them be engaged in society more than what we sometimes allow. As our social circles get smaller, life begins to evaporate from us, and we think we can help slow that process. We can make it be more enjoyable and more rewarding. So if you're part, your church, your organization, you as a council, anyone from the administration, you're welcome to come and tour the facility. We'll take you through. If you've got questions, I'll do my best. I have been not as a marketing person, but for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And so I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to answer the ones I give you bad answers, but I kept driving and I kept driving and I kept telling them, oh, I got too many part-time jobs. Got to slow down. But kept watching it. I thought, these people are doing good. They're making progress and they're doing something that's so desperately needed in our community. We have a ramp ministry at our church, and you see people that can become immobilized, trapped in their homes without having a way to get in and out of their homes. I never thought about that when I built my house. I think about it more now every day. So those are the situations. I've got a little pamphlet to pass out, but if there's questions, I'd be glad to entertain those that I could.
We went, Steve Freeman went from East Marshall Baptist, and then our pastor, Brother Chris Lewis, went. We went last week, and I would encourage anybody to go because we went over there thinking, what are they going to want, a donation? And that wasn't on the table at all. And the facility, you just can't imagine. I was so surprised, and I'm still surprised when I think back about it, that it's really state of the art in there. It really is. And they play bingo and they don't even have prizes, and they like to play bingo. So that says a lot for it, but you just need to go see it.
The other thing is, and I forgot to mention it, if a senior has trouble doing laundry and keeping their clothing prepared, we've got a laundry service. Many seniors we find have trouble in the home. A group that does housekeeping for them on a regular basis if they can't do that. I mean, it's from A to Z, covering your needs. Monday through Friday, you see the doctor. Saturday night, I was at the clinic, had to go up there and get some items. And one of our nursing assistants had been to Baptist Health with one of our members. So on the weekend, if you have a health problem and you're concerned, you dial the number and the nurse or someone will answer. If you have to go to the hospital, they'll go with you and be your advocate. If you have to go by ambulance, we pay that bill. We thought it would see they have constant medical care coverage to the level that enhances their longevity and their quality of life.
Well, it does sound too good to be true.
It does.
It does. I mean, that's a comprehensive deal, and I appreciate you coming by and talking to us about it. Questions?
You said that most of the referrals are for people that are on Medicaid or dual Medicaid, Medicare. So there's a qualification process.
There is. There's 7 steps. If you fill out an application, someone will come and start the basics. Then it goes to a nurse will come and do a home assessment. Then it goes to the state, and then it comes back to. There's 7 steps, but it takes less than a week if everybody's in place and everything's working. There are some. You have to be 55 years of age. We did a tour the other day for chief of police in Dutton and one of his officers, and we got down and went outside and asked him, I said, what did you think of the younger gentleman? He said, I want to know if I can apply for Medicaid. I said, I'd like to sign up. But you have to be 55, have to live in the county, you have to have some demonstrated concerns, like some memory loss, maybe a fall issue that might qualify you for nursing home care. Then, and they go through, when this process goes on, or after they end up going through your fine, I mean, they've got to verify your income. I think income has to be $2,900 or less a month. So there's some income. You get to keep your house, you get to keep your car, whereas in other situations, you may have to liquidate those assets to pay for the cost.
Okay.
So it's a unique program. I don't know, I just find it encouraging that, it's kind of strange that we have to, it happened in 1971, it's moving across the country. But it's a better way to do healthcare for seniors at a lower cost. The other 15%, I'm assuming they can now, I looked the other day, there's close to 10,000 people with covered lives in Marshall County on Medicaid.
Right.
Yeah.
If that number is correct off the internet, it's a lot out of the 30,000 citizens. A third of that, so if they're saving that money off this program, it gives the families and children that would otherwise not be having them.
Yeah, again,
to be on Medicaid.
Medicaid or Medicare dual. It can be a Medicare only, but it's a fee-based, but we got a lady that is I am not an expert in Medicare and I have that as a goal. But she did one of her evaluations and the member was on Medicare paying for the Advantage plan. She should have been on Medicaid. So once they switched her to Medicaid, Medicaid paid for the Advantage plan and she put $300 a month in her pocket.
There you go. Anybody else? Keith, appreciate you coming by.
Thank you so much.
And again, it's not really an ask of government, but getting the word out can be challenging on something like this. And we certainly are, public use, caring for our seniors.
They, Poland Green had to pull the bus over, but we had got a good conversation, but, if you want to go, you're more than welcome. You don't have to come as a group. You want to go individually, we'll do it however you want it, but the best way to do it is by seeing them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
yeah, thanks.
Here, Keith.
Yeah.
Actually.
Give Lloyd one.
I have done a story about it previous, and they opened.
Very good. There has been some publication, but I don't know somewhere we kind of. We'll revisit that subject, try to make sure that people are aware.
I've got a question. How many PACE locations are there anywhere, like in the country?
There's 33 states that have them. I don't know how many there are.
Mhm.
There's only one in Kentucky and this one is the one in Benton and it just opened.
That's a good question.
That's the only one.
When in
But
she doing what, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
They are opening, the same group's opening, another one in Winchester and one in
Springfield.
Springfield. Both of those are rural medicine. They all face the same challenge. I mean, the challenge of transportation is huge. Without public transportation, and then many of the people that we want to serve don't have the internet. They don't have social media access. They don't know how to access this program. That's the challenges.
I didn't know about it. I think it's great. That was a good presentation.
Thank you.
For sure.
Appreciate it. For a bus driver, I appreciate it.
Yeah, good job for bus driver. Thanks for coming. All right.
Wondered what the building was. I've seen it.
I think I saw some of the early articles on it. I didn't understand it really, truly. I like, how could that be? I think Keith did a really good job of that. Okay. Kind of old business here. I'm gonna put Glenda on the spot to give us an update on implementation of the computer system because it does impact city government's interface with the citizenry. So
Well, we're still working on it. We probably call Edmonds several times a week to help us. I guess we just didn't well, no, we know when you have new software, there are just lots of things. And so that the water bills were late, but we finally got them out. I think they look great. They're in letter format now. We're hoping that with not having those cards that they won't get lost like they were. We still get lots of calls, people wanting to pay online. We do not have the phone working yet, but we're getting that. They just don't have that where they can call the number and pay. I think most of the modules are up and they're live. I'm not sure about. Yeah, I think they are. I think pretty much everything is live. So it's a work in progress still, but it's good. It's coming along. If I can do one thing that I don't have to call somebody, I feel like I've accomplished something.
okay, well,
Do they
things are,
still need to get their phone numbers correct? Is that still an issue? If they don't
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
get the
we might just mention that again, because I told somebody the other day, they need to make sure if they had their phone number.
Yes, yes.
So,
And I know the system, if we have their email, even if they opted, they just wanted their bill emailed to them, or we can, the system's gonna do a lot of great things. Once we learn it all.
You're not having any trouble with ones. Where you just take it out of their account.
That do what?
Yes. If we said this before, if you have your checking account information there, it retained checking account information. The credit card information, I believe, needed to be updated, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
with, if you had automatic withdrawal, that transferred straight over, no issues, everything's great. Automatic withdrawal is fine. Yes, we had automatic withdrawal.
So if that part, like wait, that part is working.
Yes, absolutely.
You
And
Seen our view.
And with the, paying online, that was working, but everyone had a new account number and they had to have a PIN number. And since we hadn't sent out the first bill, everyone was having to call us to get that information so they could pay online. So but everyone, they have their bills now, so the calls have went down tremendously.
So every week there's a new kind of flavor of what hit and how it's affecting people. I think the disconnect for water was affected this last time. Okay. And so nobody got disconnected. Had to sweep that up as we go along. You can reserve the Civic Center online. Okay.
You can pay online.
And pay for it online. If you're going to reserve it, other than online, you can still come down to City Hall like we did before and write a check. So you do have to pay some money in person to make that reservation. That's been something that's come up. I think been some calls about that.
Pretty sure Allison still puts them in the system though. Even if they come up here, then she will it still has to go through Edmonds.
So Edmonds is an all-inclusive thing and it's getting better. I think it's got a lot more functionality than before. It just takes a bit to get it properly configured and the news out there. And you learn it by doing it. So.
Correct.
Anything else? Nope. Okay.
Every day.
But I did want to bring that up. Okay. So, in new business, we've got something in front of the council members on procurement policy. Okay. So John's going to take a look at some changes to the city's procurement policy, which keeps it consistent with Kentucky statute.
You all recall, I don't know if you do or not, back in 23, we did this same thing, only it would move from 30,000 to 40,000. And in this case, the state has gone in and increased that. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I
Okay. I know the fan, but has moved this to 50,000 for bidding. Yeah. Yeah, from 40 to 50. And I'm trying to find where it actually laid that out. This is the page.
Second, front page, first page,
Okay.
and it's top of the second page.
But that's not all that goes with it. Okay, on the top of the second page, you'll find that this statute that went into effect, actually goes into effect the 15th of this month. This is when this policy would go into effect. It'd be Wednesday. It becomes effective if it's approved. And what it does is, starting in 2030, it will increase the small purchase maximum by $10,000 every 5 years automatically. And so instead of it coming back every time, we actually just went in and used their language to go with that. So it'd be 50,000, which would be our bid threshold. And then every 5 years, beginning in 2030, it'll go up another 10,000. In 2030, it'd be 60,000. 35, it'd be 70,000.
10,000, I thought you said 5.
It's 10,000 every 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, okay.
So currently, anything over $40,000 expenditure has to go through the bidding process.
Or be a master agreement contract purchase to the state or one of the others.
Trucks.
Correct.
Yes.
Any service or equipment, services or equipment, both are that way, so. Now, if we got, for example, if the Kentucky, finance cabinet had a master agreement like we do with, Tag Truck out here, they actually handle freight liners. And they have a master agreement, we can purchase off that without going to bid. Sourcewell and Omni are two others that are the same way. We can actually go that route if they're available. We don't have to, but we can. So.
Any questions on that? So this involves the spending of money, and it is a policy of the city, and because it has to do with spending money, it comes before council to affirm this. So legal requirements here.
Well, the only say is that they also added formal solicitation of bidding and number 7 about being able to equip installed vehicles and for non-lawful purposes. So, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's the only
Thank you.
It's only ever changed. In the law.
So we've run into that all the time on procurement of communication devices and things for the police. You got to get the systems are installed. You have usually a very finite vendor network of that. So now it really simplifies it, but it's going to quotes. So thank you. Okay. For legality purposes, we need the city council to make a motion in a second, and we'll just affirm that you're aware of it and in favor of keeping up with state statute, and that will go in our policy book.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor? Those opposed? Okay, thank you for that. That'll be the final time that you're aware of the $50,000 limit, and in 5 years it'll go up. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Okay. Now I'm going to open up a topic of a little bit broader circumstance. It's an important thing for the city and the time frame that we're at. John Ward has made the mayor aware that his last day is September 30. And we need to get a city administrator replacement going on. And we're going to do it by committee. So mayor recommendation confirmed, city officer confirmed by the council ultimately, but this is a hire of a city administrator and it's for the city. Okay. And the administrator serves at the pleasure of the mayor. So committee in the current environment can be pretty tough for us to find people that are willing to come to work in a transition time, but open for discussions on how to proceed. But I see a team of pretty large, 7 people. It'll be myself and the 2 candidates. Okay. I'm thinking representatives of staff and a community member. And I haven't got confirmation on that, but I think the council should have 3. We can be 3 without being quorum. We're getting close, but we have 3 without being quorum. So we have the 2 candidates, and I need another person from council to participate in this. And then we'll have some meetings and figure out how to proceed from there as far as who we hire to solicit. We've got a job description that was passed out. I think it was, everybody got a copy of the city administrator job. And it needs some changes to it. I didn't go through and do it myself ahead of time. One of the major changes would be the administrative function of the utilities department, which currently is not enunciated in there. So need to hone that out and get that job description and figure out how we're going to do a search, who it might be, who's part of that search as far as a hired person to go out and solicit interested parties for the committee to review. Okay. And I think that John Ward will be representative staff. He's a member of the professional organization, quite well known in those ranks. And I want John on board with that. And I think another staff member. So again, that'd be the current mayor, 2 candidates, an yet undefined extra member of council. I've got a community member in mind I want to address, and John Ward is a staff member. I think we should have another staff member.
The community member, I do think it should be a resident of Calvert City.
It will be.
And I'm just gonna throw this name out there, and I don't know whether she'd be interested or not, but Karen Howard served on the one that hired John, so she has some experience in it.
That's a good idea.
And I don't know who else.
I was thinking of a candidate I haven't talked to yet, and I didn't want to throw the name out there before I put him on the spot.
Well,
And
you
it's-
love me for putting her on the spot.
Yeah, well,
And she may not be interested, but that's just.
I was actually looking at somebody who's active in one of our committees. But we'll see. I mean, it takes time. It takes time to do this, and everybody's got certain things.
Takes time and we don't have a lot of time.
Well, that's true. With John's departure September 30, it's pretty quick timing to get going on it. So, now as far as an extra council member, I don't know how we want to proceed with that. I think it's clear the 2 candidates have to be part of it. We'd have a difficult time talking to candidates who wouldn't get a chance to meet, what's going to be the boss, one or the other. So with that said, I mean, we've got a senior member of council, we got a former employee / a lot of breadth on the clerk's position. So, or anybody else wants to throw the hat in the ring. I don't know how we do that. I guess the council can, we didn't, I really think that if we put it up to a straight vote, I really think that the candidates, and this is what makes it weird. I think the candidates have to be part of it, which leaves one more member to put up to vote. I kind of the way I approach it, it feels weird. Hey, let's vote 3. That's not exactly what's happening. I think we're mandated to have the 2 candidates on it, and everybody would agree. So looking for.
I was just sort of thinking, and it doesn't matter to me because all 4 of the others are qualified to do it. But Ralph has been.
Yeah, we could draw lots, or we could.
I just started to say Ralph he has the experience of working with the city administrator as staff, but that's just a thought.
Well, I didn't want to push that forward too hard, but living at City Hall and seeing the day-to-day function of the administrator, I think adds a dimension to it. So.
And I think when it all comes down to it, we all want what's best for Calvert City.
This is a Calvert City hire.
Yeah.
And if we lose sight of that, then we've got a problem.
Well, I would do it. If
Okay.
one of the younger people want to do that. And I was on that first committee too.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
On the-
applying.
on
He
the
was
committee
applying.
that hired
Yeah.
John with Karen.
It looked like a Senate subcommittee.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm the only one not
Oh,
full-time
yeah.
employed.
You good?
I'm not growing old.
Okay, so you good? All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
You gonna do it? Okay.
Sure.
So we got that taken care of. And I'll talk to the community member. So that, in my count of 7, that leaves, make sure I'm not screwing up. It leaves 2 open spots, and I had in mind to add another city staff member who's involved with, first and foremost, day-to-day operation. It's who's the supervisor going to be, and so we can find an appropriate staff member, somebody who's used to interview process and knows the rules. Okay.
I appreciate all the hard work you put into getting this in your mind and how to do it.
Well, it's a touchy situation. I mean, it's a difficult situation. It put yourself in the spot of a potential city administrator. And we do need to make sure that we get them on board and try to do the training we can and work forward. So this is a city hire. I think John was a city hire too. And I think it's proven out pretty well. And the longevity of the administrator and willingness to adapt and to move him, because, by and large, keeping track of city services, you cannot lose sight of the fact that we have to be a great employer, and we've got to get excellent people in to do the things they need to do and let them be successful. That's a big role of what happens in the administrative in the city back branch. So I think it's key that we do have a city administrator. And so we'll go with that. We'll flesh it out. And we need to meet before the month is out. Okay. So everybody who's, Ralph, candidates, you got the job description and council members too. Take a look at the job description. Put your feedback into the committee of things that you think could be there, and different cities are structured different ways. And I think it's a good move in the right direction.
Is the intent of the first meeting to flesh out the posting?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Flesh out the posting, and then John knows some of the people who typically would recruit, for lack of a better term. There are other organizations that have the potential that we could use their services. So I think that trying to come up with coalesce around how the recruitment is going to work, and the job duties are the first one. And then from, I've been in hiring a lot of different positions. So you get some resumes. Okay. And from my standpoint, you don't have time for BS on this hire.
Right.
So, the first part is you've got to get your job description right. And you need to make sure you have that, because what'll happen is when you start seeing candidates, you start interviewing them, you're gonna fall in love with them. I know I always do, that this person, you start inventing ways that this is the person or that's the person. When you need something that you agreed to, this is what we're looking for. Okay. And so in addition to the job duties, there probably needs to be an exercise on personal attributes and things that we want to see as far as qualifications. Okay. And I've had enough training, I can lead the group through some of that. Okay. And again, that early work on that job specification is what it can be called, depends on which method you use. It is key. It is critical. And the committee needs to spend some time with it. It may take a couple meetings. I don't think so. I don't know. We can do some pre-work too. But you guys each look at that, council members especially, if you're going to put some feedback on that job description, please do.
Start to say maybe the rest of us could give them what we're
Yes.
looking
Yes,
for.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And now what did you also say needed to be added to this that we know for sure?
Utilities.
Utilities, administrative function for the utilities.
To ask you about that, because when we changed, when you first became mayor and we had the discussion over the utility department, at that point in time, you wanted it to stand alone. You didn't want it. If we go back to listen to that meeting, that you didn't want.
Well,
it.
so
The city-
what I think we should do is utilities needs to run enterprise level data.
So you're saying not to hire
The-
a utilities manager?
Well, the utilities manager is in the budget. Okay. So we have a strong operational superintendent, Bobby. And Bobby's got a phone number for the engineering firm. He's got a phone number for the operational people, and whether it's on the technical side to solve problems with the computer system, whatever. He's got a phone number for the compliance side. I'm having this kind of compliance problem. This is the issue. We've got consultants involved in the pre-treatment program. So the policies on payment and the fees for services and administration. So the utility department pays a percentage, or fairly large percentage, and sometimes it's like that seems like a lot. Hang around City Hall for a little bit and you'll see where the time is taken, especially at the end of the month, the reading of the meters and processing the bills and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really thinking of on the procurement side, when we need equipment, we've talked about the rather expensive truck. And there's been a conversation today, how do you go in the bidding process? Well, that used to be with the water department manager and compliance there. So that would be an example. So Bobby knows what he needs. How do I get there from here? You bring in that bidding expertise, that compliance expertise, and bring it to bear. Okay.
But had we hired one, there wouldn't be a problem.
Well,
I mean, seriously, it wouldn't have been.
Well, it depends on how much you want to spend. You want to put the managers together into one position. I mean,
if we're going to play,
To consider, but I'm just saying.
if we're going to play that game, I mean, we could have put somebody in here who might, in times past, we've had somebody in that position who actually did a lot of stuff for the city. I mean, we're a small employer,
Right.
and this is my core job duties. And what else do you bring to the table? So that's
Well,
true.
since it was a change, I wondered. So.
Yeah. So that idea of splitting that and because we have such a small utility department and we're a little odd because we aren't your typical rural department either. And so that person looks most likely like a six-figure person by the time you pay full benefits and everything. And so, no, we haven't done that. If we had the right candidate, could it possibly be a solution in the future? It could be. It could be. Well, we know John's leaving. We need a city administrator. Then it may be something we get down if the team gets down and looks at the qualifications of the resumes they have in hand. It may be something that you got it on your bid specification, that thing I'm babbling about. It may be something that you don't ever fulfill. And when you put the pieces together, maybe you're going to have to work on it later, some other method. But right now, when you're looking, it'd be a kind of a scoring criteria, if you would, if they fit that bill or not. And I think somebody have an experience to that, somebody who may way up higher in the evaluation process than others. So, and we may be able to find, depending upon which recruitment service, there may be some people that help us score the candidates based on some methodology and you know, do that. So anyway, it's a lot of work and it's important work. And we got a very finite time frame. So anyway, any questions on this? Any other questions?
If there was, say an administrator was hired that could handle those duties for the utility department, is that something that maybe in the future they could have an assistant to help, like a lower paid assistant, just to do a lot of work?
Possibly. I mean, it's up to the mayor to put together the administrative structure. So, you know, depending on what's going on, emphasis change from year to year, from, you know, 5-year period to 5-year period. But, you know, we've had various and sundry setups up here through the years. So that might be something. Yeah. I mean, depends. But the city administrator role is by far the most important one of this group, in my view. And so it's up to the team to really work on. So I appreciate it. And more questions?
Yes, is there still where they have to be part in the city? Is that still in the?
You know, I don't know that that's actually part of the requirements. It's the 2 city administrators that we've worked under, 3, I think there's been 3, have all been citizens of the city.
3,
2.
2, Richard Nash.
Well, that's right. True, it was Clark. Sorry.
But I know.
But Nash and John.
John will make him to make all this stuff.
I really,
It was
Yeah.
a couple of years for me to get everything switched
Yeah.
over, moved up here, but yeah.
but I think that it is something they probably do need to be in the city.
And again, that's what the committee is going to talk about and move forward. I don't know that we have it in the place of an ordinance or.
It's not in,
And it does have to be.
Yeah.
An ordinance, just,
I live in Kalamazoo and I'm going to work from home 1 week of the month. Probably ain't going to cut it. So,
somebody that's dedicated to the community.
Right.
Part of our.
right.
Saying definitely something to keep in mind as they go
Yeah.
through this.
That's just,
process.
that's my,
Yes.
that's just a opinion of mine. It don't.
I share that
I
opinion.
mean, I
Get off.
appreciated the fact that even though I lived in the state, I was given the opportunity to get things straightened out at home and get the place sold and all the other,
There's always that.
all the other personal
Any
stuff that went with it.
professional job is always that. Time, and you didn't leave.
We'll find out how many candidates there are that will do that.
Right.
I mean, I know of some who don't live in the community.
Yeah.
But we also have Blair. Our job requirement is to live in the
Yes,
city.
ours. Well, John, and they accepted, and then they wouldn't come.
I mean, I think time's pretty critical. I think
I appreciate
we're gonna
it.
give this the time it needs, but you know,
It's been
hiring
really-
somebody to process and we need some overlap, right? Hopefully, I'm sure John basically picked up the phone for us, or maybe someone at a consultant basis after the.
Well,
after the third.
John's retiring under CERS, so we can't talk about such things. We cannot talk about such things.
We've got less than 2 months, well, 2 months.
And I mean, if it was listed right now, that might be-
1 month, isn't it? Like 30 days?
What is that?
Yeah.
We can talk about anything after the. after
No, I'm
30
talking
days.
about how many,
Oh.
the length of time to hire someone,
Oh,
like,
2.5, about 2.
almost 2.5 months.
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
No, maybe just one more. No.
I thought your calendar's
The
different than
salary
mine.
range is already set, right? Because we
Correct.
adjusted that
Yes.
somewhat for
Yeah.
the budget this year.
But the way it'll work is you'll look at your candidates and you know the salary range. And so as a committee narrows in and takes a look at what's going on there, that will be adjusted commensurate with experience and what they bring to the table. I mean, I fully expect that with John's tenure as an experienced city administrator, we're probably not going to get that much experience equivalent to him on the next candidate. So it will be adjusted. And I think it rightfully so, it should be adjusted. And we just have to see what's out there and what the salary requirements are. And that's something that we will have to talk to the consultants about, and they'll tell us what the expected salary ranges may be for advertising for resumes. So there'll be a recommendation on what the salary range would be on what you're talking about, and we'll see it from there. It is in the public purview what the budget is, so the potential people will easily know. The successful candidate will know how to look that up and be what the salary range is, and then there'll be whatever the appropriate offer is for them. And so it's a process. Okay.
Sooner the better on the committee.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It should be an attractive job, I think.
So let's
I believe it is.
yeah, I think it is too. I think Calvert City's reputation, and I think participation in at the state level is going to be something that's going to be attractive, and
People person.
yeah. So we'll get those characteristics. So with that said, unless there's further discussion, okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. That wasn't necessarily the easiest conversation to be having. Okay. I think everything left to talk about would be covered under either departmental reports and then what we go around talking. Has anybody got a new business topic before we, that's a bigger thing? Okay. All right. So let's get into departmental reports. Chief sitting here looking at me.
He looks excited.
He's warmed up already. He's probably cooled down mode. But Chief, you got anything else? I know it's a lot of work. I certainly appreciate you bringing your team up and making them more of a participative thing in council. And we love our first responders, and what the community is so dependent upon having a good relationship with having a good force. So I appreciate you taking the time to recognize our efforts.
Recognized. I appreciate the opportunity to have a platform like this, to have these fine gentlemen recognized. Job well done. So far this year, we've answered about 14,000 calls. Now, granted, most of that is self-initiated. We're doing extra patrols and driving through neighborhoods, the residential checks that come in, the business checks, the alcohol patrols and stuff like that. So, but we are trending where I was thinking that we would as far as calls of service for this year. So, very happy. I appreciate the budget that you guys passed. With that, we're able to, I've already made the initial purchases for the radios, for the mobiles and the cars and the portables. The mobile data terminal and computers have been ordered as well. So we're looking forward to have that stuff in here, hopefully within a month or so. And I really don't have a whole lot left to say. I did send a letter to the mayor. I didn't know if he was going to make any mention of that. Is this the appropriate time, sir?
Sure. That's fine.
If not, it's okay.
That's okay. I wasn't really planning on doing it, but let's do it. It's not an inappropriate time.
So you'd send the mayor a letter informing him that I'm going to retire at the end of the year. And I love Calvert City. I've lived in Calvert longer than I have anywhere else in my life. This is my home, and it's always going to be home, and I'm planning on coming back. But circumstances in my life are changing right now, and it's looking pretty good for my family and I. So at the end of the year, I'm going to be transitioning and moving on to another city. But as far as releasing this stuff, I'm probably going to hang it up. far as young adults. And I want to say thank you to you guys. If it wasn't for Calvert City, the citizens, the schools, the civic groups, the churches, everybody helped to raise my kids. It takes a village to raise them. And, you guys have raised two young men who are going to succeed in life, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
And we're proud for your family. We don't want to lose you, but we're really proud for your family.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I was still trying to talk him out of it.
That would
No.
be good. Nora might not like it.
No, he did, he did let me know. And it's a ways in the future, and I was gonna maybe hold off a bit, but, I know that the word's out there and Nora's making some change and everybody's wanting to support them. And so even though it's quite a bit in the future, it's good.
It's my lived here for else. Good Owensboro, Princeton, spent about 13 years in Madisonville, spent another few years in Hanson, went to college at Eastern Kentucky University, spent several years there, lived in Lexington a little bit, and obviously I did about 8 years at Russellville PD as well. And so 14 years here. Like I say, it's my home, but I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you. It's a lot of effort to come in and make that announcement. And I appreciate you talking to us and the kind words about the community. And, all right.
That's everything else.
All right.
Hugs would be nice.
It's enough. All right. So we got a twofer on this one. Okay. Brad, you got something?
He's asleep back there.
He's asleep. You figure out how to bail water out of all the ditches? Yeah. And it's where'd the brace go? Oh, gosh.
It's running back there.
Okay. All right. Gonna get you in trouble here on the film, but so we had, I don't know what your fall rain we had, but it was a doozy.
This weekend, I dumped rain day down Friday. And they looked to come all Saturday night.
It was a frog strangler.
Yeah, and like even Blair, he said hardly rained at her. So. we
Yeah.
never knew it.
Yeah. So the high water mark on Memorial Park, if you hadn't seen it, it's impressive. And, Bobby, how long do you have high pumping down there on that lift station in Memorial?
2 days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's great rain. Of course, we had flooded the street. We had stuff wash out, parking wash out. Some of the new culverts I put in have even made wash, from, so they had to go do some repairs today and touch that stuff up. But the harvest did flood, so.
Oh, that's it. That's impressive.
And Dustin, thank you for bringing that to their people's attention on Facebook.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's.
Because people still don't understand.
Good job. That's really that's better than I.
Well, I wasn't fully on board with that as a council member, but I'll tell you that it's saved a lot of heartache for people who don't need that. So, yeah.
Crazy weather. We can't keep caught up on grass. Of course, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
In the yard. Lots of trees all over.
Yeah, what-
About to get the hell, my new guys are taking care of the bike trail. So that's, last Friday they had 4 trees cut out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you take a look around, there's a lot of dead trees showing up in various places.
We're working.
I don't know
trying to
those.
stay- We're trying to stay even with. But, they did start today on Shark Cow Road. Started milling, cutting edges on that, so hopefully within a week or something.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to segue. John's got something to say about, since you brought it up, we're going to interrupt your message. John's got something about Shark
I'm
Out.
glad you did. This is timely. We got, Brad and I were talking to, HDR and the distance, we've already got a bid in for, Shark Cow from Industrial Parkway all the way over to, Hollinger Lane. And the distance between there and McFarland, where we were wanting to close that out, is not that far. And they gave us a quote of approximately, and I haven't got it confirmed yet, but something about $32,000 additional to complete that. Well, that's less than 10%. That's 7% of the entire cost of the previous project. And we can't get it for mobilization and remobilization and all that. So it's my recommendation, we go ahead and do a change order and let you all know that what was going on. It's still less than 500,000,
So,
even with that.
so we're gonna do that and get all the way up to city limits.
And it takes us all the way to Heater, or not Heater, but McFarland Road.
Yeah, and we really need to pay in McFarland like 10, 15 feet, because we're the.
When he gets done with
Yeah.
it, maybe a little bit more than this. I'm gonna watch him.
Oh, yeah, so it's not city limits, McFarland, so it's still shy.
Just so you guys are aware of what's going on.
That'll-
Yeah, we had money budgeted for that anyway, and it's not gonna actually get into that.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of money budgeted for it. It's not gonna be anywhere near that. We can get that.
So we had the bid, we made the selection, and then we've got a change order to the bid. So,
That cost is still under our 500,000 that we had appropriated for the first portion of it. So we can do all the way to McFarland, and it's still gonna be less than the 500,000 we had back in our mutual aid fund. Or
So-
municipal road aid
so
fund.
now you still got anything else to say before I?
Sorry.
Well, our new brush trucks hopefully is being, so we got it ordered. Like I said, it's in the master agreement with TAG, so they found one. And they got it on the way, it's in shipping. But hopefully we'll make that process a little safer and more efficient. It's selling fuel,
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
lots and lots of fuel.
I'm gonna get into that in a minute.
So I think that right now, we did have a big tree fall in the cemetery, we got it all. Did damage the wall,
Is storm damage?
yeah, one of the storms that comes
A
recently.
little bit earlier.
Right before the four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, third.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so we got it all. cleaned
How much
up.
damage to plots and stuff?
Wall.
Nothing other than just the dirt.
Okay.
How, I don't know, because you couldn't see the headstone tree. And I started wading out through it and looking, and nothing was broken. So,
Did,
yeah, so
so did y'all move that tree?
we went, cut it up.
That was a lot of tree,
Yeah,
and it was gone like a day or two
yeah,
later.
Monday, we got it out there Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go back and dress up as a drive up, just the way we can get it out there, but,
We've got a mason that's gonna look
Yeah.
at fixing the little bit of damage that was to the top of the wall.
yeah, he's supposed to be here this week to start on the wall down here at the Memorial Park with the pillars that are coming somehow mysteriously, whatever it's doing. He's supposed to be here to fix that, so.
I know Bob's gotta be proud that that wall stood up, Bob Futrell, because
Yeah.
that thing,
Oh, to the tree?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a massive tree. I didn't
Yeah.
know telling how much that weighed right on top of that wall, and it didn't budge. I mean,
Yeah.
it just busted the rock on top of it.
Capstone, I think maybe 2 stones below it all.
Anything else?
I did have one question. I know you had the same one, I think, but the flooding on Sixth and Cedar. Like, does it need to be a bigger culvert there? Is there some, or is there?
I was gonna, yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry if I,
that's okay. I was gonna bring it up later,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I had mentioned something to Brad about it a while back, and y'all went in, they said, I guess cleaned out some stuff, and they said it
We
made
got a
a,
lot of cleaning stuff in there, and the issue that I see is we can't just do like one spot fix.
Mhm.
It'll have to be all the way up, and then I don't know that we have enough room for the ditches to be deep, but I didn't even carry that much water.
oh, it was a monsoon, yeah, but I just wanted to,
Well,
when they ask, I want to ask.
they
so.
deal with that maybe a couple times a year, and it gets up a couple times this year, it's gotten up into their houses. And like just in the front yard, it'll be knee deep. It gets pretty deep there
Yeah.
on Cedar. Sixth, about Sixth and Cherry and Sixton,
Cedar,
Chestnut.
Yeah.
And it comes up into their garages and stuff like that. And it's happened a couple times this year, maybe just one of those like last week of big rain. But I'd like to see some kind of at least figure out what it would take to.
You probably have to, John and I were talking about earlier. I don't know that I mean, there's not enough room there. But all the utilities, it would be a major problem.
You would almost have to tear the road out and build some
Build-
kind of
build
aqueduct
drainage
underneath the road that could carry that kind of water. It's that, I mean, what we've got there is more than most areas have as far as drainage goes. I mean, those are some deep ditches. They're not shallow.
And it's not backing up from the bottom. It's at those driveways and those culverts.
Yeah. They might resize the culverts.
Kind of left that alone, because that helps to slow it down. As it's going, it builds up that road.
It's slowing it down a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
But that-
unfortunately, when you can't make a retention basin just everywhere. So you're slowing it down, you're allowing it to grow, and then your storm event doesn't stop. And so that gets to be an issue. It's a big
It's not
drainage
backing up
area.
from the basin though.
Yeah,
No.
no, it isn't. No,
It's
no,
slow.
no, it is slow. That's a huge watershed.
I mean, it's got hills from all directions.
it's a built road in the bottom of the ditch.
Yeah. Okay.
It has to go somewhere to go down here.
Yeah.
Well, it usually does.
Anyway, I'm so sad for this too. That's Thank you for all your hard work.
Well, we try.
Yeah.
And the park looked good.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday morning, it looked great.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say. They worked so hard during,
Yeah.
I was down there all day long
Well,
and they
everybody's
were
ready.
in and out.
I'll compliment you once.
I did have to know.
Hey, Bobby, as long as we're talking about water.
Dick, where do you hear this number?
What's that?
I said, tell them how much went through the sewers
Oh, about 40 million gallons.
and it holds how much?
We're supposed to, take in about 800,000. And over
Yeah,
2 days, we took
okay.
it to 4 million.
Wow.
And this is what I was gonna lead off on too, the new headwater, that we've all talked about, this has been performed great. I mean, it held what it was supposed to, it controlled the backups of anything, so I mean, when we had room to spare. And it held the pumping, to, the minimums that it needed, it never stressed. I mean, granted, it filled my lagoons, but
Well,
the headwork did what it was supposed to.
That's good.
So I was very pleased with that. Everything else, I mean, it overloaded freaking everything, lift stations, they were working overtime. I was always getting all kinds of, extreme long run times, but there's nothing you can do about that. When you got water just on top of it, I get that. There was water on top of that.
Mhm.
for those who don't know, Bobby's system will phone home if it needs help. It's got alarms. It will ask for help.
But yeah,
What day was it when they had electrical problem? Is it second?
oh, that
What-
was,
when we-
yeah, it was
Was it the 9th or the 2nd?
before the 4th.
Well, the 3rd. They were
Second.
they had a little inadvertent maintenance down there. It needed to be rewired, so they completed the rewiring on the 3rd.
Yeah.
So it was good.
And we were out 2-inch water line, it was all the way around the sewer plant. 15 foot in the ground.
Never a dull moment.
No, it's always something. But that part, like I said, I was very pleased with that. I'm glad it did what it was supposed to. Other operational stuff to report on is, right now, we are in the process of well cleaning. I've got 2 being cleaned up as we know it, some motors being, one motor being rebuilt. And that's all at the well field.
And then we're just continuing our flushing program. I think, so.
And that's all PM work, all preventative maintenance, okay?
Other than that, yeah, we're just trying to. Oh, no, I do want to make a pun too, something in the water. It seems like we're getting quite a bit of new services put in too, so I've been constantly having to order new meters and stuff. I bet you we've already put in like 7 or 8 within
Good.
the last week and a half. I mean, good size ones too, 1 inch and stuff like that, so. Good. Yeah, I've been having to just keep on ordering my stuff.
Good deal.
Other than that,
All right.
all that for now.
And Bobby is working on, we talked about procurement. He's working on what we need to do to get that suck truck,
Yes.
vacuum truck in.
What we got is, it about went out on Saturday.
Sure we need that?
He sure, believe me,
Especially after Saturday.
he sure.
Question?
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Blair, you're up. They're hiding behind the podium. Not on purpose, but good work.
Yes.
Another one pulled off.
Day, hot. Crowd wasn't as big as normal, but I think that there's a lot of stuff happening and it
That's
was.
a weekend.
In the heat.
Storms threatened us kind of all day. Calvert was like a Red Sea. It just went straight around us all day, which is great. Parade was awesome. There's lots of really great folks in that. Excited about the crowd participation that. We are updating the website, new budget or new budget, new year. And KLC offers a website that offers design for websites. They have a couple of sites out there that they've already done, and I like the way they look, but we can create our own, which is what we did 7 years ago. It's crazy. Didn't think that was 7 years ago.
The other day.
Yeah.
You've been here 7 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
She got through the itch part. 7 or 8, she got through it, so she's still here.
Yeah, so, anyway, time to update that. If you can think on things that you wish was on the website that's not on there. When I designed it 7 years ago, I only had about 6 months worth of time here, so I feel like there's a lot that can be added and changed. So think about it. If you see something, just send it to me and we can work that into the new design. Look, there's something else, but I can't. Oh, the Christmas bazaar. I bet I've had 50 calls today.
On Christmas,
Bazaar.
now that July 4th is in the rear view,
Yes.
here we go, rattling on down. There's some scavenging hunts and stuff that happen between us.
Today.
A lot of food truck food to be eaten.
Registration open today and for prior vendors. And I already have 42 registered. So went live about 3 o'clock. 42 already taken away. Because Lakeland Event Center is for sale, they're not gonna participate. So we have the Methodist Church, Altona, First Baptist Church, City Hall, the Civic Center, and did I say First Baptist?
Yes.
First Baptist.
School.
I'm working on a school, not sure yet, but as of right now, we'll have 112 spots available, which is great.
Pathway.
It might be.
The one thing that happened at the school is everybody thought it was people playing ball the year we had it down there. There were. The sign wasn't big.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, yeah, but the sign wasn't big enough. Nobody stopped because they thought everybody was playing ball.
Yeah, we ran into some issues too because of people setting up on Friday. Because they have to have their license checked and, checking in, and that was the whole thing, but, in fact, I've actually talked to one of the teachers today, and we're gonna talk to Dustin about it, but if the elementary school wanted to participate, we could use the waiting list and just send it to the PTO and say, you guys can do that if you want to. I mean, probably hold 30 vendors, it's $900. Be a good fundraiser, plus whoever enters the door, $1 for that, so. But anyway, that's open. It is only for prior vendors right now, so you got two weeks. July 25th will be the official opening date if you have any spots left over. Kentucky Dam Village has agreed to set up and kind of be our overflow as well, so we got lots of places that are.
The convention center is a big space.
Yeah.
We talking about the convention center at the dam?
No, the lobby, like,
That's a
Okay.
pretty good area too.
they actually already have some. Our Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or something else, but. You can wait 2 weeks.
Well, Halloween comes before. No feels that.
There's about 18 other events. that
Yeah.
have-
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of food truck action to be had. Absolutely.
Got a big lineup every week, it seems like, and it rains. I've had it for 7 years, and for 7 years, we've probably been rained out. This is the 8th year. For 7 years, we've probably been rained out 3 or 4 times. It's not rained out,
Yeah.
but in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And this one,
Every Friday, yeah.
every Friday.
Weather gods don't always smile on you, Blair. You still, 150 was so good. You're still way up on the positive side. I guess we'll do airport or projects first. Dealer's choice.
We'll get Tim.
Come on, Tim.
Let the acronym talk.
At least we're not gonna get acrimonious. We're not gonna get acrimonious about the acronyms.
We got a nice note.
Illinois with acronyms. The airport layout plan that you're tired of hearing about is in the state of their review. And we are still pending and doing the final write-up on the property map. So that's in the works. The precision approach path indicator project is at the state for review and acceptance. And one of the things that required was another survey of the approach surfaces.
Oh, no.
And it was discovered that because the last time we had a tree removal program at this airport, I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5 years ago, it used a 7-year-old aerial survey. At the present time, there are 16 trees
Yeah.
that are penetrating the approach surface that have to be removed before the PAPI system is approved.
17. I mean, were there-
trees that are within 15 feet of the surface that will also be removed.
How many did we remove it originally?
I think the number was in the 30s,
Yeah.
and we're
But there again,
had a discussion this afternoon with the lady who manages the nursery, the tree farm. Almost all the trees that we've identified are within her purview and her boundary. She's been extremely cooperative and,
Well, she knows how to grow some more.
they know how to grow trees. As you know, we bid a hangar project. And when the bids came in, and there was a reevaluation of the amount of grant money available. It's kind of been determined, it's our recommendation to the state. That there's insufficient funds to properly construct that project. The state is going to, the state and I presume. Calvert City, the manager of the airport, are gonna shelf that project and maybe rebid it at a future date when more funds are available. It's a matter of how much state, federal, local money can be used without putting the airport into a financial bind in the near future. So we're gonna let that go. What that means is we have to reevaluate the airport capital improvement plan and the 5-year rotational budget. We're in the process of doing that with the Kentucky Department of Aviation. The tree project will come in and will be paid for by some of that money that has not previously been obligated. But that's it. But it's not an acronym. But I have nothing else to say.
It is over. Okay. Well, the hangar delay, we hope,
Oh, right.
is really the first change in momentum. I mean, the airport's been coming along fabulously. And
That's correct.
dare I ask, the wildlife fence
Yeah, you
status?
care. Yeah, you care.
Okay. Because I have signed some things having to do with the wildlife fence, which I think kind of are good. So go ahead.
We're coordinating with the state on ways to implement, get the fence project without phase one. And hopefully you all remember what phase one is. We're going to, the state still has money available to do the fence.
Mhm.
And the fact that we have tabled the taxi lane construction and the infrastructure for the hangar. There's sufficient money available. We want to strike while that iron is hot or that wheelbarrow is full of money. And get the fence done. So
Okay.
I'm meeting with the state this week to accelerate that project.
Good deal.
Yeah, both of us are gonna have a conversation with the state this week.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
love having those conversations.
I'm glad that I pay attention. So we got some good news to go back with a little wait and see.
The addition of a fence is significantly more important, in my opinion, than the hangar.
So the fence and keeping the instrument approach pared down is where we need to be.
Correct.
Okay. Good deal.
Thanks.
Also while we're on the airport, and this is not one for you, but since our last meeting, we've sold right at 8,000 gallons of jet fuel to this airport. 8,000 gallons. I've had to fill up 3 times. And it's time to fill up again. So it's been doing very well. We made good pricing. It's been profitable pricing, not huge profit, but profitable. And we've been drawing in a lot of the spray helicopters. They've been coming up and buying bulk from us, so. We've actually done very well with Jet A, and I think that will probably come to a halt. In another week or two, that the spraying portion will be over, and so we probably will go back to normal sales. Or pray for normal sales at that point.
Right.
But we are marketing the fuel to where we can bring people here to purchase it, because we have no one based here yet. I'll leave it at that.
So Jet A's got a life span to it and it needs to be turned over and refreshed. So if we don't sell enough, then we have to make sure that we do sell enough.
We bring the price down so we can attract people from other areas to come here to fuel up. So, but we are moving in.
Thank you.
I saw a seaplane out there the other day. He was getting gas or
Yeah.
fuel. A couple military.
You see them out there a lot.
Okay. So Tim Davis is not here to report for the fire department. I will tell you that I placed Tim on leave. Okay. So Assistant Chief Norwine is acting chief at this point in time. Okay. I don't want to get into a lot of reasons why Chief Davis is out, but if somebody wants to talk about it, we could go to executive session, but whatever y'all want to do. But good responses. They've had a few things lately, and I'm glad to see the department step up in Chief's absence. Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Now we're going to have project report.
All right. We've been working on, again, codification. Ashley and I've been working on that one. We actually got the big in. We can't do a complete review yet because we're still waiting on the document that goes with it. It's supposed to be in here this week or next week is when we expect it. And that way we can go back and review what they've done. As compared to what was sent and what we need to look at. And then we also, at some point, I'll have to go through, I didn't want to put it in the website yet until we went through it again, because once we've got it codified, we can go back. But there's a lot of things in there that are dated that need to be either repealed, amended or something. And they talk about functions that we haven't had in the 22 years I've been here. So they need to be taken out. So we just got to go back over some things there and get that stuff cleaned up. So that's part of what is our next phase. Once we get this set up, then we can move into the phase of cleaning it up and getting it up to date. More so than it is.
So we don't really know, we're gonna have more council action required on things yet?
Well, I
Or-
mean, down the road, you're gonna go back and either repeal ordinances or amend them as it is, but as far as what we're doing with this right now, no, not at this point.
Okay.
So, we got the change order for Char Cow. Thank you very much on that. Berm design, with HDR, we're ready to move forward, with, getting, some sort of agreement with them.
Water plant
The
berm.
water plant berm, the protective berm that goes around with gates. We actually filed a grant last week that will actually, the grant is for, we've applied for a grant through what they call BRIC. And that's building resilient infrastructure and critical
Acronym.
services. And so that's for the berm to build it. And then what we filed last Friday was to a grant for the matching portion of that. We've got a 10% match. And so we filed a grant for that 10% match. Don't know if we'll get it, but we did file that. So,
When was
that's
the
about it.
original grant filed?
The BRIC grant
Mhm.
this year. It was back in the spring.
And
Haven't
when
heard
should
anything
that
back on
be
it.
awarded?
I'm thinking this fall. But that one was designed to, help critical infrastructure. So that's what we're shooting for. The DRA, we didn't get it for whatever reason,
That was,
the Delta Regional.
I felt good about that one. As well.
And we still have not, just for your information, we still have not heard anything back. Again, other than, as Tim would put it, crickets in the Land and Water Conservation Fund. But we do, like I said, again, we do have a matching grant already pre-approved for that. That would handle most of our matching grant. I think it would be like less than, right at 10% that we would have to be, or less than 10% that we would actually have to put forth if we get that Land and Water Conservation Fund. And that's to pay for the multi-use trail, the connection from Fifth Avenue around the outer perimeter of Memorial Park or Doctor's Park, and then take it all the way down to Railroad Avenue. So once that's completed, that'll expand the multi-use trail down into the downtown.
We'll go ahead and take the limestone road and go paved. So that's been a great addition. I was surprised at how many people we see on that. So
I'll try to have a report as to what, we've been making some progress in the areas of, junk and abandoned mobile homes. We've been making Troy's been making progress on that. We're in the process of doing, right now, after probably 3. Again, I don't want to exceed, the monies we've got allotted for that. If you all determine that later on you want to put a little more money in that pot, that's fine too. But at this point in time, we've got, I know 3 that we're looking at. So, and these are all abandoned structures, mobile home structures. So, and we also have another physical structure that the owner is in the process of acquiring a demolition team for it. So
So hopefully you guys can look around town and see where Troy's making a positive impact. Some of the stuff doesn't go away, but I think it's a little better shape. Maybe a lot better shape, and we still have the nuisances around. Are you done?
I am.
Okay. We've had some ongoing conversation about we're actively relocating utilities out around a traffic circle area at 62 and Lone Valley. I think everybody knows that. And there are some access issues in with Marshall Yards that are creating some problems for the patrons, and we're trying to facilitate some talk about that. That's all over some Kentucky Transportation Cabinet places that they're going to procure, which complicates matters quite a bit. We've had Marshall Yards came out and talked to us, are having patrons with cars damaged, and the lighting in that area is poor, and you got private landowners. So we're trying to facilitate some conversations about how to improve that situation. It's not city right away, but maybe we can get some people pulling in the right direction there. With that said, ready to go around the table? No?
I was just gonna compliment our city workers for how nice the 4th of July was. It was very nice.
Very good. Do a good job. Nita?
Well, nobody said anything, but I think maybe it might be a good idea if we did go into executive session to hear that, since it was the fire chief. That way we know the facts,
Okay,
and it will
This-
be confidential when we go in there. too.
absolutely. I'm not gonna, yeah.
But I have one other thing that Ken Hawkins had some issues with his state right of way there on 95. And one of the council members went over there and weed eated Saturday. And he wanted me to make sure that I mentioned, or I didn't go weed eat. Ken wanted to make sure that that person was acknowledged in the council. And I know he's going to be aggravated, but Dustin went over there in the heat and weed eated a big bank for him. And Ken was really, really appreciative of him doing that. And then he said he went above and beyond what any citizen or council person would have done. So
There you go.
there you go.
It was a lot harder. than-
Yeah, his arm was.
You probably needed a chainsaw. Probably needed a
I
chainsaw.
actually did had to go back and get my chainsaw. I actually had trees.
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Be
work.
nice if that spurred some other
I don't-
community involvement.
Yeah, I don't know the
Would-
Ken's, but he appreciates it.
He does.
Thanks for that, Nita. Anything else?
That's it.
Nope. Ralph?
No.
Jeremy?
Good.
Nope. Dustin?
No.
Kevin? Okay, so we'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go into a brief executive session to
Okay.
discuss the personnel
Okay.
issue.
We got a second? All in favor? Okay. So we're gonna go into executive session. This is the time when we read the reasons we're gonna do it. And so we're gonna do it for personnel reasons. I'm gonna ask Chief Cannon to stick around with us.
So notice shall be given in an open meeting as to, the specific provision for KRS authorizing the closed session, and this would be KRS 61.810 subsection F, which specifically says discussions or being which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee. It goes on to toss a state member or student, et cetera, that doesn't necessarily apply to us. But it would be 61.810 subsection F, in reference to, the fire chief.
All in favor?
Uh,
Okay. We got that in proper order? We good, Counselor? Okay. If anything happens, I'll give you guys a call. Okay?